Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video does contain some discussions of a person wanting to unalive themselves and also some discussions of emotional relationship abuse. So please make sure to just use your own discretion on if you're in a place to watch content that's about that right now. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and we have one last live stream from Amberlynn's weekend of live streaming to cover. It is the morning of Monday, August 5th, and she didn't go live last night, Sunday night. So hopefully she's taking a break. I will say towards the end of this live stream we're about to cover, she did mention like, maybe I just need to stop live streaming for a bit. Maybe I just need to go back to recorded content. And I don't know, it's not often that Amberlynn is self-aware and actually acts on that, but maybe she has decided to actually do something that might be worthwhile for her. As a programming note, I know people are feeling overwhelmed with the amount of information that's out there, so one thing that I'm gonna try to do is put together a playlist at least of just like the stuff that has happened since Amberlynn met Tommy to now. So that might be helpful if you want to go back and watch other videos of mine for context. As a reminder, here are some of the names of people involved that are important to know in terms of this story. There is, of course, Tommy Salami, who is the most recent girlfriend that Amberlynn has started dating. She met Tommy Salami in real life. They've only known each other. By now, it's probably a little over a month, maybe like a month and a half. And then they broke up when people started finding out that Tommy was a feeder, and now they are back together, as witnessed in the last video that I covered here on my channel. There are also two women named Erica and Brittany. Erica is somebody you might know that Amberlynn has referred to as Valentine she's referred to her as Valentine since like February of this year, but she's known Valentine/Erica since September. And Brittany is Erica's wife, who she was married to the entire time that Amberlynn was dating Erica, and at some point Amberlynn did in fact find out that they were like for real, legitness married. And then the only other one that's like super important right now is Alexis. And Alexis was never a potential suitor for Amberlynn. Alexis is just a random stranger that she met online about a year ago and befriended. And Alexis has been on kind of a wild ride the past few days because Alexis was fully in one of Amberlynn's live streams recently, like on FaceTime with Amberlynn while Amberlynn was live streaming. And Amberlynn even referred to her as like her emotional support dog or something like that. But when it came out that Amberlynn was still dating Tommy, Alexis ended the friendship. I covered a little bit of that in my video from yesterday, so feel free to go back and check that out. All of that stuff is right at the beginning of yesterday's video for the most part, so it's not like you have to watch the whole entire hour-long video. I would say it's somewhere in like at least the first 10 to 15 minutes of the video, so you can definitely find out from there. Now what's important, and I did allude to this a little bit yesterday in my video, but it's important to know before we get into today's live stream that Alexis also had DM'd Oh Lordy It's Jordy regarding her decision to end her friendship with Amberlynn. And even more specifically, it seems like it was done way before she ever posted publicly about it. It sounds like she reached out to Jordy first, and it also seems like she wanted to potentially go on Jordy's live stream and discuss what was going on. I'll leave a link to Jordy's live stream where he goes over the DMs that she sent to him. I will say that Jordy also ultimately did not end up having her as a guest on his live stream. But here's some of the things that I wanted to pull out from her messages to him. Alexis said, "I don't care. She doesn't care about me. She just wants people that are up her ass and defends her poor decisions and behavior. She's willing to come to my state to see her, but she's never once made an effort to come see me. She doesn't love me the way she says she does. And I'm not going to sit here and be her lapdog anymore. Which is interesting because Amberlynn really did refer to her as her emotional support dog. Anyways, she goes on to say, she told me today she's going to marry Emily, so what's the point anymore? I tried to give Emily a chance, but she is an awful person and treats Amberlynn like shit. And if she wants to be with someone like that, that's fine. But I will not sit around and watch. In a separate group of messages that she sent to Jordy, she said, more than just feeder stuff. She's rough as hell with her, especially when she drinks. I saw on FaceTime when they were together. She tells her she will call and then won't. She told her the other night she wants to unalive herself so she can be with her late partner. She makes Amberlynn feel awful for anything and everything. It makes me sick and so sad, and I can't take it anymore. I think that is obviously, all of that stuff is very concerning. You might be wondering about the FaceTime stuff. In the live stream, Amberlynn does discuss how, I guess, Amberlynn, Alexis, and Tommy would sit on FaceTime together, which is just like fascinating. Fascinating. I guess that's what you do when you don't have any friends in real life to hang out with. But I guess that's what Alexis is saying. That's how she's seen, some of this behavior. Not necessarily in person. And obviously, the threats of unaliving yourself and things like that are very concerning. In another group of messages, Alexis says, I wish you knew what I know, but I just feel like that specifically isn't my business to tell. And Jordy responded, I don't think you need to give me specifics. I already know that girl is a feeder and goes after vulnerable women. And Alexis responded, bingo. It makes me so sad. I don't care if she exiles me for talking to you, but please help me get Emily away from her. And I also have to inform you that Alexis has been very active on social media talking about this. So the live stream we're about to talk about happened on the night of August 3rd, going into the morning of August 4th. And Alexis was up and at 'em early on the morning of August 4th talking about this situation. The first thing she did was post a screenshot of what looks like text messages between her and Amberlynn. And Amberlynn sent her a message that said, I'm not speaking to you until you publicly apologize to the both of us. You made this public when I just wanted privacy. That's all I ever wanted. You knew how bad both of our mental healths were, but you still chose to do this knowing exactly what would happen. It's defamation of her character, and that's a dangerous thing to do. Because Emily, I think is what is blurred out there, is not abusive at all, but now everyone thinks she is. That's not okay. Alexis responds, cool, won't be happening, so you can go ahead and just block me. Stop being victim Lynn. Takes two to tango. Again, this is why we had the conversation publicly, because you never take accountability for your own actions. You're just always looking to blame someone else. And then she says, Emily can kiss my ass. I think before we go any further, I should note that you're gonna hear the name Emily come up, and that's because that's what Tommy's real life first name is. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a bit, but at this point, it's pretty clear that a lot of people know that Tommy's real name is Emily, and it looks like Alexis has gone back to trying to hide that information on behalf of Amberlynn, but in the live stream where she was arguing with Amberlynn, she flat out said Emily's name. So at this point, I am not fully really keeping up with it. If they use the name Emily, I'm going to use the name Emily, but otherwise, I will just refer to her as Tommy until Amberlynn otherwise starts calling her something else. But I do apologize if that's confusing to you. Not that it's my fault that I need to apologize for, but just, it is confusing in an ever growing and changing list of names of side characters in Amberlynn's life. So anyways, Alexis posts a TikTok that is a screenshot of a conversation that some random internet stranger sent her between that random internet stranger and Tommy. Tommy says to this person, I got to experience true love already with my late partner, and I'm so grateful she could give that to me. I don't think I'll ever find that again, and I'm okay with that. And the person said back to her, that's actually so cute, I'ma cry. And Tommy said, I miss her so deeply, I'd do anything to have her back, especially through all of this. And then the person says, can I ask how you and Amber met? Tommy says, TikTok actually. And then the person said, oh, did she know about your late partner? And I'm sorry, I'm a little tipsy, so I'm all curiously. And Tommy said, she did. It's one of the first things I told her. And Alexis posted that with the caption, but she loves you so much, right, Amby? Hashtag cancel Tommy 2024. I also think it's interesting that Alexis did not censor Tommy's late partner's name. I actually went in and did that for this screenshot. I am censoring her name because she is passed, and like, I think she truly probably would not have wanted to be a part of this mess. I woke up this morning and saw another TikTok from Alexis that had a t-shirt design that said "Make Girl World Great Again" with her face on it. And I do think that's important to share because it kind of seems like, I don't know, that seems like she wants clout for a lot of this. And I think that's an important part of the conversation when that's something that like Amberlynn is alleging, but we'll get more to that later. And I'll also say, in addition to all of the content on Alexis's own social media, Apathetic Facts has also recently published some DMs that an anonymous viewer had with Alexis where she discussed knowing that Tommy fetishized Amberlynn even before the feeder content came out, amongst other things. Like, there were other things that Apathetic Facts shared in that video. And so I'll link that video down below as well. I think my biggest concern with Alexis right now is just that, like, I think there's some level of this that is like her genuinely concerned for Amberlynn, and probably started out as concern for Amberlynn. It seems like she really thought that if she, you know, like put Tommy on blast like this, that Amberlynn might actually leave Tommy. It doesn't seem like that's worked, and you're gonna see that in this like fight that they have on Amberlynn's live stream. And so all of this stuff that's come out post live stream with Amberlynn really honestly just feels like a little vindictive on Alexis's part. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna sit here and watch the drama, but Alexis is quickly becoming also just like a part of the mess, a part of the like, are you really truly concerned about Amberlynn, or do you just want to be messy? Do you just want to threaten to come out with information that could ruin Amberlynn's life? Like, there is a comment where she literally tells people that like the stuff that she knows could ruin Amberlynn's life, and it's like, you just, it feels like you just want attention. And to be clear, that is something that I felt about Alexis a long time ago. You probably haven't heard about Alexis on my channel prior to all of this mess, because I always got the vibes from Alexis's social media that she was wanting attention. So do I think that there is probably some truth to the things that Alexis knows and Alexis has been telling us? Yes, I think that Alexis really probably does know all of it. After watching the live stream, it's clear that Amberlynn is worried about the things that Alexis knows. But do I think that also Alexis is just attention seeking to some extent? Also, yes, I also believe that as well. So that brings us 17 minutes in. Oh my god, I thought that this was gonna be a shorter video than my previous videos. But all of that brings us to this live stream that happened on Saturday night on August 3rd. Now, since then, the live stream has been taken down from Amberlynn's YouTube channel. But many people have copies of it. Many people have posted recaps of it, so there's lots of places to check it out. I will say I'm gonna try to leave in longer clips today than normal, just because you can't go get the full context from her original content. But I think the most likely reason that Amberlynn has taken this down is because Alexis used people's real names. In particular, like I already mentioned, she referred to Tommy as Emily at one point, and she also referred to Feline/wifey as Jade. And typically, I would avoid sharing that information, but honestly, at this point, Amberlynn let it all out on her own channel. And on top of that, I think that most of Girl World at this point knows all of those people's names anyways. People have known for a very long time that wifey/Feline's real name was Jade. To be honest, it's not like Amberlynn has taken great care or caution to make sure that those names don't get out. She even fully used Jade's name at different points on her channel, so it's not, again, really doxing for any reaction channel to be sharing that information. But Alexis has fully said Emily in so many avenues. I mean, she was using the name Emily to DM Jordy, okay? So it's like, it's out there. I'll likely continue using Tommy to discuss her in this situation, mostly just because that's what Amberlynn uses, and I think that'll be more consistent for users that are tuning in to watch. So unless Amberlynn starts calling her something else, I'm just gonna keep using the name Tommy. I do think that taking down the live stream really just brings more attention to it. Like, I think anytime you delete something from YouTube, it's just asking people to remember that it exists forever. And actually, at one point during the live stream, Amberlynn acknowledges that, like, all the reaction channels probably have copies of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. No, I'd like to think that she took down the live stream because there were multiple people in the chat sending super chats that had racist slurs in them that she, some of the time, was just full up straight on ignoring because she was texting on her phone. But I don't think that's the case, and also if it was the case, it would have been way easier for her to just not let the, like, live chat replay go up, because you can put live streams back onto your channel just without the live chat. So I really do think it mostly is just because Tommy and Feline's real life names were used. So anyways, let me get to this actual live stream. She does start off proclaiming that this isn't going to be a 3-hour-long live stream because she's so drained and it's just been so hectic. But it does still end up being a 2-hour-long live stream anyways. And I will say it was more of the same nonsense that happened in the stream before. She just wasn't drunk. So there was lots of looking at Tommy on FaceTime off to the side, talking to Tommy off to the side, texting while she was on her live stream. Lots of overuse of the word hectic. Like, people have never been so annoyed with something that Amberlynn has said before than they are right now. Like, of all the annoying, like, phrases and words that she overuses to death, like, people have had it with hectic. I'm gonna spare you all from having to look at all of that. I think I do briefly want to talk about the texting off screen and things like that. And I just want to say, I'm not gonna, gatekeep what people can and can't do on their channels. I think it's generally okay if you're live streaming, especially live streaming for 2 to 3 hours, to, like, sit there and text somebody occasionally. Like, I can speak to my 2-hour-long live streams that sometimes I have to text Noel about, like, oh, if he's on his way home from work, or if I need him to come into the room and grab Poe and take him out or something. Like, I think generally stuff like that is fine, but that is far beyond what Amberlynn does on her live streams. I mean, she does it for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time sometimes, where she's just fully not engaged with the chat. And what I will say to her credit is that obviously people are still watching anyways, right? Like, people are still sitting there watching her just text somebody else off screen. So it's clearly working for her. I don't know if it will work forever for her if she keeps doing live streams. I think right now people are willing to sit through that nonsense because they are interested in the juicy tea and gossip. But I think once some of this dies down, it will be a deal breaker for some people. Like, they will start going to reaction channels to just get the information once the reaction channels are able to, like, cut it down, edit it, and give their commentary. Which is basically how I remember Apathetic Facts blowing up. Amberlynn did these live stream eras back in the day where it's all she did for, like, several months. All she did was live stream. And so much of it was boring that people would just wait for Apathetic Facts to cut it down and go watch their recaps of it. Anyways, the stream actually starts off pretty chill, just like casual Q&A stuff, and somebody does ask about Mama Lynn and how Mama Lynn is dealing with all of this, or if Mama Lynn even knows about the situation. And Amberlynn does confirm that she's aware, but that Amberlynn's not really trying to tell her too much.
She feels bad for me, obviously. She doesn't like seeing me hurt. I try not to bother her with all of this, though, because, like, my mom considers herself an empath. So, like, I don't want to, like, hurt her and make her feel, like, more worried. So I've been kind of just, like, trying to deal with it, like, by myself. I guess.
And trust, I want to protect Mama Lynn's peace. It seems like Mama Lynn has really worked on her life a lot, and I think a lot of people have worries about Amberlynn coming back into her life and messing some of that up for her. But I just want to say Amberlynn's reasoning here doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because I would think that somebody who is an empath would want to help their daughter navigate a difficult time like this. Like, I imagine Mama Lynn would love to help Amberlynn and find some guidance and help her feel better about this whole situation. And it just doesn't make sense to me that she wouldn't seek out her mom for help. And if I'm being quite honest, it seems way more likely to me that she just doesn't want to have her mom bear witness to how embarrassing this all is for her. And even further so, I think she's trying to protect herself from what happens if Mama Lynn is not supportive of her decisions in this situation. Because as we're gonna go on to see, when her friends don't agree with her, don't support her unconditionally, it's over. So like, I think she's trying to protect her relationship with her mom, and I think she just honestly doesn't want her mom's opinion because she doesn't want to ruin her relationship with her mom. Amberlynn also notes that this is day 2 of eating Panda Express hot orange chicken.
What did I eat today? I literally had Panda Express again. I'm going through a food fixation type deal. I'm kind of low-key obsessed with their hot orange chicken. It's so good. And that's very Amberlynn coded. I knew.
And I'm sure that totally doesn't have anything to do with dating Tommy. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. You know, I'm sure we truly went from semaglutide protein mukbang era of Amberlynn straight to Panda Express 2 days in a row, and it has nothing to do with Tommy. But even if it really doesn't have anything to do with Tommy, it certainly is an odd choice to emphasize that you had it 2 days in a row after proclaiming to the world that you're dating a feeder. That's totally not a feeder, by the way. Somebody points out to her that she's not acting the same on this stream as she was in the stream the night before where she was giddy and drunk.
This is not the same Amber from last stream. I was tipsy, and I am going to say in this moment, I am low-key very sad. This whole Alexis thing has really like shook me to the core.
And I just want to say I totally can relate to the feeling of being happier some days than others. I think a lot of people probably can relate to that. But it is pretty jarring to see her go from being so upset on Thursday to so happy, giddy / drunk on Friday, and then now on Saturday she's sad again. And I don't know, maybe it's just not as jarring when it happens to those of us in real life because we don't like get on a live stream every night of the week to show that to everybody. But I do think it's enough to at least warrant like a good log off and seek therapy from me. She does pretty quickly get into beginning to divulge some of what happened between her and Alexis.
Alexis and I have been, I might cry. We have been like really good friends type deal. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. But like as of recently, her and I got like really close, like closer than usual. And like we've just really been there for each other. Like I could call her literally anytime. She can call me anytime. And through our year of our friendship, I have accepted all of the things that she's done, whether I've agreed or I haven't agreed. Like there has been things that she's done that I have not agreed with, obviously. And every single person I've ever spoken to while being friends with her, she has not liked. She has not liked them at all. She's wanted me to stop talking to them. And it's been like that with every single person. And she's always had valid reasons. I'm not going to lie to you. There's always been valid reasons for it.
One of the things I want to talk about from that is that she says that she has been friends for a year with Alexis and that she's always shown Alexis unconditional support, even when Alexis was making bad decisions, particularly with like partners and things like that. It's weird to me, but certainly not surprising to me that Amberlynn's definition of friendship is built on just like unconditional support of the other person in the friendship. I think most of us can agree that healthy friendships and relationships just in general rely on a certain level of feedback from one another and a willingness to like listen to that feedback and apply it to your life. So again, weird to me, but not surprising. I think based on what we know about Amberlynn, like, yeah, I imagine if she's not getting 100% unconditional support from the people in her life, then they're not worth being in her life to her. She also is like upset that Alexis hasn't liked any of the people that she's been with. Amberlynn does eventually acknowledge that the reasons are valid, but I'm just like, yeah, well, Amberlynn, from what we know of the relationships that you've had in the past year while you've been friends with Alexis, they're not great. Like, you've talked to Erica, Danielle, Abby, and now Tommy Salami. And we do know that Erica is confirmed a married woman. There's allegations from Erica that Danielle was a married woman. We don't know much about Abby, but we do know that she was, like, significantly younger than you, according to Erica. And we know that Tommy Salami is a known feeder on top of all of these other things that Alexis is accusing her of. So I don't know, Amberlynn, it sounds like maybe Alexis has a good idea of what she's talking about and has had some level of good reasoning skills here to not support the women that you're talking to. Amberlynn is convinced that what Alexis has said online is not true. And she also yammers on and on and on about, like, a soft, gentle love. And she talks about it a lot in the stream. We'll limit it to, like, this one time.
But this time, I don't really know what happened, because the things that she has, like, what she said online and what she said to Jordy, like, isn't true. I have repeatedly, like, told myself, like, in my journal and when I'm, like, just alone with my thoughts, like, that I want a gentle love, that I want to be in a relationship with someone where it's not toxic and it's not like triggering my BPD. Like, that is what I've wanted for so long. And I finally found that. And it's just like, for Alexis to like turn it into something that it's not has been like really painful for me. And it's like, she can have her opinions, obviously. Like, I will never take that from her. I've had my opinions on her life, for sure.
I just need to be completely transparent here, okay? Based on what Alexis has shared, none of this seems to be a gentle love. I don't necessarily fully understand what Amberlynn thinks a soft and gentle love is, but the things that Alexis has described so far do not feel that way to me. And we'll certainly talk at length about Amberlynn's BPD diagnosis in this video today, because I think she brings it up a shit ton today. And I guess just for starters, I'll say that I think it's very interesting that she wants to talk about her BPD in this live stream, but in the live stream before this, when people were bringing it up, how like her BPD makes her miss red flags, and she said that herself, that's like straight from the horse's mouth. She didn't want people to bring it up in the last live stream. And it turns out that it seems like what Amberlynn is most upset about is just that Alexis wanted to make this public instead of talking about it privately offline.
The thing is, I've never brought it online. And it's like, it's okay if she wants to have an opinion, which opinions that I don't understand at all, actually. And I would try to talk to her in private, and she still just didn't explain it to me. Like, and the things that she would say, like, genuinely just made me feel like I wasn't, like, worthy of love. And it's like, I don't want to, like, go into detail, because it's like, Alexis knows everything about me. Like, I don't want her to, like, come for me, and that's scary. Like, she knows a lot of my secrets. Everyone has them. She was my best friend. Like, she was my journal that like talked back to me. Like anything that I would like write in my journal, 9 times out of 10 I would also tell Alexis. And it's just like, I don't know what she's capable of, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
And what I will say about that is that it is very interesting to me that Amberlynn always thinks it's okay to come out onto the internet and talk shit about the other people in her life. and then gets upset when she gets a little taste of her own medicine. I mean, there certainly have been plenty of times where Amberlynn only talks shit because the other person talks shit first. But there have been plenty of times where Amberlynn has been talking shit about people in her real life on the internet. And it's just wild to me that she thinks nobody else is ever going to do it to her. I also think it's very weird to refer to Alexis as her human journal. How about instead of using a friend as a human journal, how about you go to therapy? Like, that's almost exactly what a therapist is supposed to be. In some ways, you can utilize a therapist to verbally process your thoughts and feelings and events that happened in your life. You don't have to put that burden on your friends. Like, certainly friends can be there for you during times of crisis, during times of need, during times of sadness. But to put that level of need, of help, of support on just one friend is a fucking lot. It would make sense to me that Alexis would be at her breaking point. But yeah, go find a therapist. You can go to psychologytoday.com and you can search for therapists in your local region in Oklahoma. You can search based on the health insurance you have, based on your diagnosis as BPD. You can filter all of those things in. You can get a woman specified therapist if that's what you want. You can get a male identified therapist if that's what you want. But like, try something. Try literally anything at this point. It's also crazy to me that you've only known this woman for a year and you've divulged all of these things to her that could potentially ruin your life. The fact that Amberlynn is so trusting of random people she meets on the internet, despite knowing that like 80 to 90% of her audience are people that just watch her because they don't like her, is crazy to me. Like, if I was her, I would not trust anybody in my DMs. Like, it's really crazy at this point that it took as long as it did for somebody like Erica to come along and really troll the shit out of her. We also get a very long monologue from Amberlynn about how all of the events in recent history in like the past week or two have really just been devastating to her mental health and to Tommy's mental health.
This whole thing, like, has really messed with mine and Tommy's mental health 1,000,000,000%. Like, I'm telling you, low to the ground. Like, our mental health has been horrendous. And during that, Tommy has requested some space from me. Like, she needed time to herself. And that's normal. Like, that is absolutely normal. People need and deserve, and they cherish their alone time, especially when you are going through what you're going through. So, me having BPD, sometimes when I'm told, I just need a little bit of space, I don't know why, but I tend to freak out. And Erica even kind of like shared that during her like little interviews that she did. That was true. I have moments where I literally freak out and I don't know why. I know it's very BPD coded. And so during one of those times, like, I spoke to Alexis in confidence and I was just like, Tommy doesn't want to talk right now. And like, I was giving her like a BPD moment. Me and Alexis, we very much talked about our BPD a lot, back and forth. That's just like something that we very much bonded over because we understood one another. And Alexis considered Tommy needing space as like emotional abuse. And I'm like, that is not the way that I see it at all. Like, that's hectic. Like, I don't see it like that at all.
At this point, it feels like beating a dead cohorse to bring up her selective use of BPD, but unfortunately she talks about it so much in this stream that we're gonna keep talking about it. But I do think we can all agree that Amberlynn only wants to acknowledge her BPD if it helps explain her bad behavior, and she's not willing to confront it when it's like currently happening to her in real time and making her miss the red flags of Tommy. And I do just also want to note that earlier in this video, I outlined and showed the evidence that suggests that Alexis has way more concerns about Tommy than just Tommy needing space from Amberlynn Reid. You might recall that there was a screenshot that I shared in my last video, I think it was my last video, where Alexis was suggesting that Tommy wanted to quit her job and move in with Amberlynn, or have Amberlynn move in with her and have Amberlynn pay all of the bills. Well, Amberlynn says Alexis misunderstood that.
Alexis has said, I think like to Jordy, I don't remember, saying how Tommy wanted me to quit YouTube, how Tommy wanted me to like move in and do all this stuff. No, that was 100% me. Like, I have my issues. I do move kind of fast, and I'm like grateful for Tommy because like she slows it down a little bit. She's like, okay, let's calm down. Like, you're not quitting YouTube. Like, you're going to keep doing that. Like, that's your career. And like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like random little things that like Alexis is like taking the wrong way. And this is something I have actually talked to her about in private. Like, no, you're not listening to me. And me and Alexis have had moments in the past where like I feel like maybe a little slightly unheard.
And I don't know. I think I misunderstood that because I don't understand why Amberlynn's making it sound like Alexis was saying Tommy wanted Amberlynn to quit YouTube, because if that was the case, then then how would Amberlynn be paying the bills for Tommy? So I don't understand what Amberlynn was trying to say. It makes total sense to me that Tommy would want to quit her job and be Amberlynn's caretaker and have Amberlynn pay all the bills. And I do just have to ask, if you're constantly feeling so misheard and misunderstood by Alexis, then why did you keep telling her shit? Why would you keep divulging information to a woman that you felt like wasn't listening to you? And Amberlynn wants to like reiterate over and over and over again that she's just like literally never been this happy before. And she's told Alexis that too.
Like, I have told her countless times how happy Tommy makes me feel. Like, I genuinely have not been this happy in a relationship before, like ever. And I've never felt this comfortable, and
I'm sure Alexis totally sees it that way. Like, I'm sure she totally sees it that way, considering you also just got done talking about how this has been the lowest week of your mental health ever. like Amberlynn at the same time, simultaneously, is talking about, like, this is the best relationship I've ever been in, I've never been happier, and then talks about how, like, the past week of her life has been so low for her mental health. And that's not to say that there haven't been positive parts of her relationship with Tommy. Like, I'm sure she has been happy at different points of it. But I think, one, you have to acknowledge that her relationship with Tommy has, at this point, only lasted for a little over a month. So when you spend an entire week feeling at the lowest of your lows, like, what does that say about your very short relationship? You know, maybe if you had been dating for 5 years, then 1 week of low mental health status does not necessarily mean that your relationship is bad. But when we're talking about a matter of weeks in general, that you've even been aware that this human existed on the internet, and one entire week of those few weeks is you at your lowest mental health state, then what do you want Alexis to believe? And Amberlynn loves a good excuse to ignore the timelines, and today she's landing on, listen, lesbians fall in love quickly.
I'm a lesbian. Tommy's a lesbian. Have you guys heard of the term U-Haul lesbian? I mean, it wasn't made up for like shits and giggles. Lesbians move quickly, and we're very emotional, and you just fall for each other quickly. That's just how it is. And
it's true that it is a stereotype for lesbians to move on quickly. I can attest to that. I have lots of friends who are lesbians. I have a lot of friends in the queer community in general. I'm queer myself. I've seen it happen with my own eyes, and I've also seen those same relationships crash and burn. And also, I think the context of Amberlynn specifically is very important here, because this is like the 5th or 6th time. I lost track of counting. I'm not trying to do all that right now, but this is like multiple times now that she's rushed into a relationship with another woman immediately after ending another one, and they've all crashed and burned. Amberlynn also talks about being confused about why Alexis is upset. She just like doesn't get it.
Why is Alexis upset with you? I'm so confused. I genuinely don't know either. And I love her. I respect her. I'm going to continue doing that. I'm not going to sit here and like do this whole like back and forth thing. Like, it is confusing.
And it's crazy because up until, watching this stream, I had only seen what Alexis had posted online. I read a lot of those TikToks that I already shared with you prior to ever turning on this live stream. And I don't know, just from like looking at what Alexis has posted online, even the very first one where she said that she was ending her friendship with Amberlynn, it was very clear to me why Alexis was upset. So I don't understand why Amberlynn doesn't get it outside of her just being extremely obtuse. There is a point that Alexis sends a super chat.
I haven't trash talked you, so I expect the same respect. Don't be shady. Wish you the best regardless. If that really is you, I won't trash talk you. I just don't think it was fair what you did. Like, the things that you said to Jordy, like, you knew what that would do to me. Like, you knew how that would make me feel.
And Amberlynn suggests that they can talk in private if Alexis really wants to talk it out. It is interesting that she wants to, like, go on and on about, like, we should do this in private when she's already currently talking about it on her live stream. I get that, Alexis had already done this publicly. I get that point. But I think that Amberlynn surpassed the we should do this in private when she already started taking to telling her side of the story on her live stream. And you need to know that Semantics Lynn isn't scared of Alexis. She's just worried that her human journal will expose her secrets.
You're scared of her exposing you. No, exposing is such like that's not the right word for it. I'm scared of like times where I was vulnerable to her. I'm scared of those moments being revealed to the public. Absolutely. Like, those moments aren't public knowledge. They're not meant to be for the public. They were meant for my best friend. Like, that's what I mean.
She makes the claim that she's gonna stop meeting people that are in her DMs on the internet. She's gonna stop trusting people she meets online.
Stop trusting people who contact you online. That is actually officially a thing that I am beginning today. Like, I just feel like I'm done with like friendships. I'm done with like, I don't know.
But I guess Tommy's gonna get grandfathered into that clause because Amberlynn says friendships and then just stops before she gets to relationships. So Tommy is okay. Tommy is okay, even though that's how they met, was online. She's gonna keep trusting her, but nobody else. So again, she talks about BPD a whole lot during this stream and does acknowledge that therapy would be helpful with said BPD.
Therapy will help with BPD. I know. I probably should do something about that. And it's like, even if I, like, everyone's telling me to get therapy, and it's like, even if I did, like, you guys never believed I was even in therapy when I was in therapy. And I was in therapy for like a hot minute, and it helped me so freaking much.
And there's lots of conversation throughout the whole stream about her, like, listening to the chat who's telling her she needs to get therapy. She even, in fact, acknowledges that the chat is telling her to get therapy, but says nobody would believe her. Which, like, who cares if people on the internet believe you're going to therapy? Like, that's not the point of therapy. The point of therapy is going to, like, actually help yourself out. Like, it's not for the people on the internet. It's about you getting the help you need. And ultimately, I believed her when she was doing the weight loss surgery therapy. But I think the other part that people are going to need, in addition to you just going to therapy, is like changed behavior. And much later in the stream as well, she does say that she's going to go look into getting therapy on Monday. So today. Today she's looking into it, allegedly.
Okay, everyone's telling me to go to therapy. I'm literally on Monday, I'm going to get a therapist. And then you guys will never have to say that to me again, because that is like, it's a lot.
She also questions why Alexis went to a reaction channel to share the tea.
Alexis was not your friend. I've also had a lot of people say that to me, because like, people are like, if Alexis was your friend, why couldn't she just do this in private? Like, why did she have to make it public? Why did she have to go to a reaction channel? The very people that like are like setting out to like ruin my life.
And I think to some extent I understand Amberlynn's question, because that does seem really shady to go to one of these people on the internet that talks about Amberlynn all the time if you're her friend. But from reading the messages that Alexis sent to Jordy, I don't know. I initially got the sense that she felt like this was going to help get out the word and spread awareness of how bad Tommy was, and that she thought that that would scare Tommy away. Probably because that did work initially, at least, right? Like, initially, Tommy was scared off when people found out that she had feeder content. We're gonna briefly dip our toes back into the Erica and Brittany drama, only because Amberlynn shares some frustrations that she has about Brittany's story.
You know what's frustrating? Sorry. Brittany is big mad that I said Erica's name. July 4th is when she called me for the second time. And in the phone recording, I said, yeah, I'm not going to like mention Erica's name. Yes, I did promise that, da-da-da. And I didn't mention her name until literally a month later. But yet on July 9th, a few days after the phone call, she messaged Zachary Michael wanting to spill all the tea. So that doesn't make sense. She was going to spill the tea regardless if I said Erica's name or not. And I just processed that last night because, or was it today? It was today. I was watching Zachary Michael. I sure was. Hello. And I saw that she sent him the message on July 9th, and I was like, what? She was going to talk regardless. And now she's blaming it on me because I said Erica's name.
And I do have to agree with Amberlynn that I think Brittany really was wanting to spill the beans about the situation regardless. Like, I think she was just looking for the opportunity to do it. But also, regardless of that, Amberlynn could have still not said Erica's name. Like, it's not like Amberlynn made the decision to share Erica's name knowing that Brittany was in my DMs wanting to share information with me. Like, Amberlynn still shared Erica's name in bad faith. I do find it interesting that she can watch my videos and find stuff in my videos that support her claims, but she can't listen to, like, literally any other part of my videos. Like, the part where I suggest that she log off and go to therapy. So, that's fascinating to me. And it's also funny because later in the stream, somebody asks her if she's still watching Life Plus Cindy, and she mentions that she's behind on everybody's videos.
Have you been watching Life Plus Cindy? I'm actually behind on like everybody's videos, so.
But apparently she's very up to date on what all the reaction channels are posting about her. Like, fuck her own interests. She wants to watch people talk about her, which I guess is her prerogative. I also just want to bring up her talking about the slipper in the video that Erica sent her where Erica was pleasuring herself. And mostly because one of my favorite Twitch subscribers, I don't have favorites, but Woma would certainly be one of them if I did have favorites. She sent me a video where she compared the way that Amberlynn talked about Brittany's slipper and showed also Amberlynn unboxing a pair of slippers she owned.
Does Brittany have slippers with like smiley faces on them? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, that video you sent me last night, I want you to go rewatch that. And that's kind of like how that conversation went down. But
awesome slippers. I'll show you guys those out of the package in a minute. So here are the slippers. Let's see if they fit. They actually fit perfect and they're so cute. I'm obsessed. I am literally obsessed with these slippers, and I think I'm gonna get the black pair as well, and I'm gonna surprise my mom and get her a pair, and we're gonna be matching.
She also acknowledges during this conversation that she will stay with somebody regardless of what they put her through.
It's like, thinking about it now, I'm like, why didn't I break up with her? I really do. Like, I stay with someone no matter what the hell they put me through. I just like stay with them. And
somehow she can't see how that applies currently right now in real time to Tommy. So here we are. And despite yesterday in the video or the live stream she did the day before saying that she didn't mind Jordy as a content creator, she's back to saying that he's like the absolute worst.
In your opinion, who's the worst YouTube reactor? I don't watch all of them, so I wouldn't really be able to tell you. But based off of the ones that I've watched recently, definitely Jordy. Yeah, definitely. Like, the fact that, like, he opened his platform for Erica and Brittany and wouldn't open it for me, the very person that, like, he constantly talks about. Like, he wouldn't give me that, like, just tiny bit of, like, space to just, like, share my side. And his excuse was, I don't know what she's going to say. Like, I just want to be careful because she might say the wrong thing and I might get my live stream taken down. I've done YouTube for 11 years. I know what to say and what not to say. I wouldn't have disrespected your channel, but that's fine. I mean, make excuses like all you want. I'm glad I got to do it on my channel because just because I'm glad I did. So you made the right choice.
And I will say, she tries to make it out to be like he was the one that reached out to Alexis and tried to get this tea, but I'm pretty sure the way I understood it, Alexis reached out to him first. So around 40 minutes into the stream is like when the worst of the like texting and ignoring of the chat happens. She literally mutes the chat at different points just so that like they can't hear her talking to somebody. It's very annoying. And we end up finding out that it was Alexis that she was texting, that Alexis wants to have a public conversation on the live stream. It mostly sounds like the reason for that is that Alexis wants like a third party present to like help hold Amberlynn accountable for the things that she says in the conversation. And this is also where there's conversations that come up about Alexis being a clout chaser and just wanting attention from all of this situation. One particular thing that I found interesting is that Amberlynn makes the claim that Alexis has ruined the concept of friendship to her. She never wants another friend.
Like, I know you're watching me right now, and I just want to let you know that, like, what you've done, you've hurt me. Like, genuinely hurt me. And I think that's all you really need to know. Like, I don't even want to be friends with people anymore because of you. You freaking ruined that for me. Like, you've tainted it.
And that's just so ludicrous and sort of manipulative and also just dumb. Like, why are all of your eggs in the basket of one human that you've known for a year? Like, please be serious. You're really just being dramatic. You claim you have all kinds of friends. I'm sure Alexis is not the only one. And if you're really willing to let whatever happened with her ruin your concept of friendship that you have with other people, you need therapy. Go to therapy. And then she, like I said, there's a lot of texting back and forth. I really can't imagine watching this shit in real time at a normal speed because I was watching it on a playback at 2 times speed. I also do want to note that during this time is also when people were sending the super chats with racist slurs in them, and she was having a hard time keeping up with deleting those. That's not really necessarily her fault. She ultimately can't control what people are doing in her chat, but the fact that it was happening while she wasn't even paying attention, so she couldn't even make the decision to like delete them or not, is kind of crazy. She does probably need some kind of moderator support, especially because she had like tons and tons, thousands of people watching her. So anyways, they do eventually just decide to have the phone call on the live stream, and I'm going to play as much of it for you as I can without my commentary since it's not available on her channel anymore. I'm gonna make some edits just of like maybe like silence or things like that. But I figure it's probably helpful for you to get the whole entire picture. So I will make some edits, but I'm going to present it without my commentary. I might speed it up a little bit just so that like my video isn't 12 hours long. But here you go.
The FaceTime is insane.
Alexis,
What?
what is happening right now? Like, genuinely.
Someone messaged me and said you're talking about me. So I was like,
Hold on.
not on my watch.
Hold on.
I've got many options, like CNN, Fox News.
Alexa, shh. Why does she always think? Okay.
Why are you all up in the camera like this?
Because I'm nervous. Can you guys hear her?
Oh my god.
Alexis, you hurt my feelers.
You hurt mine sometimes too.
Listen, I'm in love.
Enough. Be so for real. I'm not here to sit and talk about Emily with you.
Hold on. I'm trying to keep track of everything at once because this person keeps saying like racist things and then they come.
I saw that.
Like, how does that keep happening and popping up? Hold on. Can you please say a congrats to my sisters, Jessica and her husband, Greg? They're both been watching you for years and are about to be first-time parents. That's amazing. Congrats, Jessica and Craig. I'm jealous. I would love to be a mom. I mean, I am to some fur babies, as you can see here. Okay. You set off my Alexa. I'm sorry. I be doing that all the time. Okay, you guys, just give me a second. I'll get to the super chats in a second because we gotta figure this out. But hold on, Alexis, I'm about to text you something.
Okay. Yep, got it.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So my question is like, why did you have to do this like publicly? That's the part where I'm just like, that's hectic. Like everything we've been through, like you contacted the very reaction channel that like genuinely hurts me to my core.
First of all, from what we have talked about, I thought you liked him.
No, I don't like him.
Okay. Well, anyways, I was planning on actually never speaking to you again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look in the camera like that. Okay. Also, I just am like so fed up, Amber. Like, I love you, and I want you to be happy. I want you to find somebody that's good for you. But I don't think that it's her. And I'm sorry if you don't agree. I'm sorry if others don't agree. But I just feel weird about it. And I had my reservations before anything came up about her. Anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you know why.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a secret.
Okay, but the thing is, like, you've dated a lot of people while we have been friends. Like, you.
Okay, chill out. I have had.
It's okay. We don't have to.
2 official relationships.
Okay, but there have been things that you've done, blah, 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 that I don't agree with either, but I would never be like, all right, guys, publicly, I'm going to say that I'm no longer Alexis's friend, and this is the reason why. Like, that's hectic.
I know, but I was talking shit.
Like, I fully support that, like, you have your opinions. Like, I support that because, like, I also have mine. But, like, to go and do that, like, you've hurt me on a level that's just, like, not okay.
I hear you, but I told you, I don't remember yesterday or the day before, like yesterday, that I didn't want to talk about Emily with you anymore. I was like, can you just separate these relationships? Like, I don't care if we live in the same state. I don't have to be her best friend. I'm your friend. I'm not her friend. And if you guys break up, I'm still going to be here.
But I'm not. No. That's the thing where it's like, I want to be with Tommy for, like, ever. Like, I genuinely love her. And, like, you know that, and you've seen that, and I've expressed it, and I've.
But how many times have you called me crying your eyes out?
Because
the most outlandish shit that she has said to you.
No.
Do you not remember?
No. I have been very low. You know that, like, mentally. And unfortunately,
with valid reasons sometimes.
Yes, and same with Tommy. Like, she's never ever gone through something like this. Like, this has been so hard for her. And then, like, for her late fiance to be, like, talked about in the way that she has, it's horrible because she was such an amazing woman. Like, it's not okay. It has left her very low. And during low times.
Well, maybe she should have taken the time to heal before she got.
Oh my God, Alexis, I'm not doing this actually on live. Like,
I'm not being combative. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Okay, I get it. What was actually the point of this? Genuinely, what was the point of this?
Because you aren't always accountable when it's private. When you have a private.
Okay, that's fine. Like, I don't have to be fully accountable. You don't have to be fully accountable. It doesn't matter.
Why not? Why not?
Because I just fully don't understand. Like, I just don't understand, and I never will. And I've tried to explain to you, like.
What do you mean you will never understand? I have given you clear-cut reasons why I am not a fan of this relationship. I have given you valid reason after valid reason after valid reason.
I know, but you come up with things where I'm like, oh no, let me explain that. Like, you're literally off your rocker in that case. Like, I've literally, like, any person I've ever spoken to, you've never wanted me to talk to them anymore or be with them.
Okay. I liked Jade. Obviously that ended. Okay.
Why do you say real names?
I liked Feline.
Holy fuck. But that's the thing. How do you like someone who did the things that they did to me and you know what she did to me? That's where I'm like, this is hectic. Like, how could you sit there and say that?
But I also know what all these other girls have done to you too.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you, but like, I just want you to support, like, because, like, I know you don't want to be my friend, but I'm just letting you know, like, I know you gave me the ultimatum, which is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. But genuinely, Tommy makes me like the happiest I've ever felt, and I want to keep feeling that, and I want to see where
She
our.
also makes me very sad.
No, what makes me very sad is everything that's been going on lately online. No, it's been freaking.
I'm
all right, I'm gonna hang up actually because you know that to be true. That everything that has been happening online has made us both miserable. Like, you have heard me cry about it multiple times.
I'm sorry, but the one.
And before all of this happened, me and Tommy never had sad moments like that. Like, it literally was magic, like actual magic. And then all of a sudden, our mental health got low because we were being harassed for days on end. Like, so yes, I cried to you a lot about that. And it's like, it just sucks that you're taking my mental health and then Tommy's mental health and like using it against us and saying, yeah, this is the deciding factor of why I don't like this relationship. That's crazy to me because you have also been in situations, like even in your current one, let's not go there, I won't do that, where I'm like, I'm just saying, they have also done things where I'm like,
okay, yes, but nobody's perfect, but they have never said the things to me that Tommy has said to you.
I think that maybe like you took it wrong, but like me in like a BPD moment or episode, I'm a little hectic and I get kind of like,
Amber,
oh my
like, one
God.
of the specific comments that she made to you was awful. I would never say that to a partner.
Okay, but to me, like, so people are thinking this is staged. It actually is. Are you guys enjoying it? This is staged, actually, genuinely. What was I saying?
Say hi.
Hi, Basil. What a sweet little baby. Hold on a second.
You putting me and your audience on hold while you're in a live is crazy behavior.
I think I'm disassociating or having like an out of body experience right now.
Are you levitating?
I'm doing something. And I don't know, I really don't know what, but I'm doing something. Okay, everyone's telling me to go to therapy. I'm literally on Monday, I'm gonna get a therapist, and then you guys will never have to say that to me again because that is like, it's a lot.
I agree with them. I told you that.
So the only option here, honestly, like if you truly feel like how you feel, which is fine, you can feel how you feel, but like I think it's time that maybe we take this off a line, and if you don't want to talk in private, that's fine. I will respect that as well.
I don't want things to get disrespectful, and I'm really not a super big fan of you bringing my partner into this because they have been nothing but nice.
Okay, then let's move on from that. Let's move on from that.
That's why the haters came out because
we don't have to. Hold on, I'm getting like all kinds of things. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I don't even know. I'm just like, Tommy has only ever been nice to you. That's something else that's like really crazy to me. We've always had such a great time, the three of us. And
yes, but I don't agree with some of the things that she says to you.
I get that. We don't have to agree, but that doesn't mean like, why can't you like separate? Like, okay, you just admitted people aren't perfect. Okay, that's number one. Tommy has been going through one of the lowest times of her life, trying to gravitate that with thousands of people watching.
I understand. But when I was doxxed earlier this year, I did not take that.
Okay, I get that. Her story is different though. Her story is different, and she's never taken it out on me. She has had low mental health, and I'm sure everyone watching, like you guys have had very low like mental health before, and you need space. And dating someone with BPD, which is me, like if your partner says you need space, you kind of take that personal. And I know I shouldn't take that personal. Once I'm out of like my weird BPD type of deal, I'm able to focus in and be like, this is normal. Like we shouldn't be on FaceTime 24/7 when your mental health is that low. Like, no, because I'm like,
it's not going to be bad. Can I say something though? It wasn't the space that she needed that was the problem. And we've talked about this before, even in the beginning. I was like, you need to learn how to detach and give her some space sometimes. I told you this. But the problem was the comments being made towards you, because one of those comments were absolutely vile. And I would never dream of saying that to one of my partners, especially if we were still together.
Okay. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I just know that like no relationship is perfect, but I do know that like in this one, this is the closest to perfect that I've ever had. Like I genuinely am thoroughly happy, and I want to like see that through. Like
you're literally giving me whiplash because one day it's not perfect and you're breaking up, and the next day it's perfect and wonderful and magical. You're literally giving me whiplash. I don't know if I'm supposed to support her or not.
You are supposed to support her, and you're supposed to support the fact that like I'm happy and like we're finally getting over that like scary like mental health situation that we were in. And I think that like when someone's at their lowest, like to judge them during that time is not the person that I am. I can't do it because I know for me, when I'm at my lowest, I say and do things that I probably wouldn't do otherwise. Like,
has she
yes, of course.
For the one specific comment,
yes,
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. And it's like that comment hurt you more than it hurt me. And I'm just over here like,
that's also insane crazy.
Because I understand. I've literally been in that situation before. Not in that exact situation, but.
Do you remember how many hours you cried after that comment was made?
All right, Alexis, I'm going to go because I feel like you're trying to make this way worse than what it is. And that's the part that's like really frustrating to me because you're doing it in front of thousands of people. And
it was one comment.
Okay, but you're acting, oh my God. I am actively like in a relationship where I'm happy and like
right now.
Yes, because my mental health is finally improving. And so is hers.
Girl.
Because at first this was like a bomb. Like this, it was like a literal bomb that was set off. Like genuinely. And I know you've had your lows too. And you say and do things like you literally, yes, this is a skit and this is staged. Yes. You say and do things that like, you know, come on. Like you've been there. We are not robotic. We are all human. Like.
I understand that, but I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't speak up.
Okay. What made you, in my opinion, do something that wasn't okay is when you publicly went to a reaction channel that you know I don't like, I don't support, and you did this publicly. Already knowing that publicly, I'm going through fucking hell. That's the part where I'm confused. And then you don't even want to have this phone call with me privately. You want to do it publicly yet again, knowing that I love you and I'm not going to be able to say no. Like, that's not fair at all.
Okay, but you don't always show me that you love me.
I try my hardest. Like, I'm always there for you. Like, I feel like we've gotten the closest ever since I've been with Tommy. Like, we all three of us hang out together. And like, I just don't understand, like, genuinely.
Also, I want to clarify, I haven't met either of them. We have not hung out in person.
No, it's not in person. It's very 2024 coded through the FaceTime, actually. Like, I just want like us to be okay, but it's like, I don't know if it's ever if we're gonna be able to get to that point ever again.
Dude, I don't know. I'm also very hurt. I am also extremely hurt.
Okay, can you actually don't explain why? I would rather do that privately because I don't understand, actually.
I'm not gonna say anything messed up, but sometimes I just feel like you choose your partners over me, and then they leave, or you break up, or you fight, and then you're back to giving me the friendship that I give to you, and it's reciprocal. And then you're back in La La Land, and I'm back on the back burner.
But you're not on the back burner when it comes to me and Tommy. I have been closer to you than I ever have, and you know that. And I genuinely loved like the friendship that you two were forming. Like, it was fun, the three of us like talking and like hanging out, and like it was.
And you know that even after everything came out, I still gave her a chance. I still gave her the benefit of the doubt. She asked me if I thought she was a bad person. I said no. I was still around. I was still talking to her. But it's certain things that have transpired since that I just can't get behind. And it doesn't mean I hate her.
Okay, then, like, then we won't be friends. I don't know what else to say. Because like, in the way that I would support you, like, I want you to do the same for me. Like, when I'm genuinely happy.
I was trying.
And it's like, it's fucked up that like, I can't confide in you, like, as a best friend. Like.
You can. Do you know all the stuff that I literally could have said that I chose not to?
No, that I like, actually, yeah. Like, you know a lot of stuff about my exes, about friends, about people in my life. Like, you know a lot, like, genuinely.
But do you really think that I would ever spill that? Be so for real right now.
I was scared.
Come on.
I was. Because it's like, what you did already has shocked me, has left me shocked. Genuinely has left me shocked.
But I haven't made derogatory statements about you. You are not.
I don't care. I don't care. I would rather you make them about me. That's the point. I'd rather you make them about me. Like, you have hurt me by hurting her. Like, genuinely, that is what I'm trying to explain to you. And if you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. And this is embarrassing, that, like, because I needed to have this conversation. It's like, I feel like I can't even fully, like, because we're public, almost 4,000 people are watching. I feel fucking so embarrassed by this. But I felt like I had to do it because it was the only way we could talk. Like, how embarrassing is this?
Well, because I needed you to be accountable. Because sometimes you are just so stuck and hyper-focused on something that you refuse to see other perspectives and you refuse to see the truth. And this is something that I have accepted about you, and I understand, but that's not fair to me.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I'm 2 hours late for my concert.
I hope you have fun at your concert. I now look like a dumb, so.
A dumb.
I look like a manipulator. I don't take accountability.
Not reading the comments. I'm not reading the comments. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I get that, but like, you have seen.
Amberlynn, I don't think you're a bad person. I just think that sometimes you're vulnerable, and you need someone to show you different perspectives sometimes.
Okay, but I'm letting you know that like, I firmly think that you're wrong in this situation, and in the way that like you're viewing whatever you're viewing, like, it's just not. And it's not fair because you already know. Yes, but why does it have to be publicly? Why?
Because you aren't always accountable when it's private.
Oh my god! But it doesn't have. Oh my goodness! I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know. Thank you, Rachel. I feel fucking dumb though. Like, doing it live doesn't change the way that I respond to you. That's all I gotta say.
I beg to differ.
I'd probably be crying more actually if we were off a line. So I'm crying less being online.
Good.
But
I don't know if there is going to be a resolution right now. I think that we both have a lot of things to think about. And
I've already been thinking. I've already done my thoughts.
me too.
I've been journaling. I've been thinking. I've been talking.
Not the aggressive journaling.
I'll always be journaling. That's just what I do. And I know what I want in my life, and I know how I feel about certain situations, and I don't know. Like, I'm happy. And
all right, but never mind. Doesn't matter. I sound like a broken record at this point. You're gonna feel how you feel. I'm gonna feel how I feel, and I don't know what to say to you, Amberlynn, because I feel like sometimes I'm just literally repeating myself over and over and over until you see my perspective. And sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't.
I can see your perspective, but like, you're also not understanding mine, and I can't fully explain it because I'm live streaming and it's personal. So it's like, that's not fair. So I'm actually not, you know what? I take back what I said. I'm not fully able to speak to you in the way that I would because there are personal things that obviously I don't want to say on here. And that's also not fair.
I hear you, but I am just as much as you are hurt, I am also hurt. Okay? This is really taking a toll on me, even though I know I was the one to take a step back. It doesn't really matter. I still am hurt. I'm upset. I still can feel the way that I feel.
Yes, and I'm letting you feel the way that you feel. Obviously, I respect that. I didn't need to hurt you. I don't know how that I did. And if I did hurt you, I'm sorry. I would never intentionally hurt you.
Truthfully, my final straw was when you brought my partner into this. That was my final straw.
Okay, I'm sorry for bringing your partner into this. I was just trying to relate. I was bringing like relatable situations together. And I was just saying that, you know, sometimes we don't agree with certain things that people do, but I would never look at you and say me or them. I would never do that.
If I was in what you assumed and saw to be a harmful relationship, I would want you to.
There's nothing harmful. And this is where I'm going to hang up because there's nothing harmful happening. This is like the softest love I've ever had in my life. And I've wanted the gentle love. That is what I've craved. Someone to actually like love me gently. And it's not toxic or this like gross, like heavy, abusive. Like I've been in abusive things and you know that. And this is the first time where I'm like, wow. So this is how it feels to like be loved without like feeling like there's some sort of like abuse going on. And I don't want to talk about this. Like this is a lot.
Okay. Hey, you're fine. You're safe. Everything's good.
I'm not safe. This is going to be on every fucking reaction channel there is.
And nothing bad is happening.
Yes, everything bad is happening. Like you've made me have this phone call publicly. That's not fair.
Okay, well, some of the things you have said to me are not fair.
Okay.
Okay, well, my friends have literally been outside for the last 10 minutes. I have to go.
So what was the point of this then? Like,
because I wanted to speak to you on a public platform where you could be accountable and you couldn't just say whatever you wanted out of emotion or out of the heat of the moment.
Well, I have BPD. I have a lot of emotions right now.
So do I.
I don't even know how I'm like actually doing this.
I don't use that as an excuse. I do too. I don't use it as an excuse.
People are telling me to hang. I literally physically can't. I'm not like that type of person that like hangs up on people. But like,
well, either way, I have to go. My friends are literally like, "What is going on?"
So you did all this. Okay.
What? Say it.
What's the next step in this like situation?
Dude, I don't know.
Like, I just want you to be happy for me. Like, you see me happy, so it's like I want you to be happy for me.
I was trying to be.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
Well,
this is just we're going in circles now. So
I hope that you have fun at your concert. And I don't know.
Okay. Have a good rest of your night.
Mm-hmm, you too.
At the beginning of it, I was already kind of feeling like Amberlynn wasn't taking it seriously. I guess it could have been like some nervous energy on her end, but she was just so giggly despite like crying about this situation moments before on her live stream. And also her face throughout the call to me just gave like, I'm not listening to what Alexis is saying, which is funny since, you know, she was making the claims that she oftentimes feels like Alexis doesn't listen to her. And then overall, I just really didn't feel like either of them sounded like they were fully done with the relationship. It sounded like both of them wanted to still be friends, which I think led to a lot of people thinking that this was like a staged conversation, that it wasn't serious and things like that. And Amberlynn also just in general doesn't help with like the confusion of all of it, because it's clear she's trying to pay attention to super chats that she's getting, also trying to pay attention to like the text messages that are coming in through her phone. It's just a really distracting environment, I think, for both the viewer and for Amberlynn and Alexis, who are having the actual conversation. It was interesting to me that Alexis made the claim that she thought that Amberlynn liked Jordy, because honestly, I think that confusion is easy to make. I think most days it's hard to tell which reaction channels Amberlynn likes and which ones she doesn't, so it makes sense to me. I think it was really reasonable for Alexis to say that she wanted to remain friends with Amberlynn and just set up a boundary in terms of her relationship with Tommy and not really be involved in what that looked like. And it's weird to me that that's not an acceptable, like, boundary for Amberlynn. Like, Amberlynn feels like if you want to be my friend, then you need to be invested in this relationship with Tommy, because, like, I want to be with Tommy forever. I think Tommy's the one. I want to marry Tommy. So, like, you need to be on board. There's no separating this relationship. Like, if you want to be in my life, you have to be in Tommy's life. It's also crazy to me that Amberlynn felt like she couldn't say no to a public call. Like, I get the feeling that you have to, like, try to make things work with a friend, but you literally could have said no. You You could have literally said no. If I'm going to sit over here and tell Erica that she could have logged off and that she didn't have to be in a relationship with Amberlynn, then I can also easily say, like, Amberlynn, you can log off. You can shut down the live stream. You did not have to take this call publicly. I will say, like, the more that the call went on, it was clear to me why Amberlynn wanted to have it privately. It seems like some of their arguments and disagreements on this situation also involved things that, like, Amberlynn clearly was not comfortable sharing with the internet at large. And also from the perspective of just, like, not wanting to look dumb because she has to defend the, like, vile behavior of her new girlfriend. But again, it just seems like you really shouldn't have taken the call in the first place. Like, I don't understand why you agreed to that knowing that there was potential for so much, like, personal stuff that the internet doesn't know about to get onto the internet. It's interesting to find out that Alexis had some kind of friendship with Feline as well, and she seems to like Feline, and Amber gets mad that Alexis would like Feline, knowing what Feline did to Amberlynn. And I just don't understand why she wants to talk about those bad things that happened between her relationship with Feline, but she doesn't want to talk about the bad things in her current relationship. Like, she is so willing to come on here and highlight all the ways that her previous relationships have been awful, but then, like, wants to look totally the other direction when the bad things about Tommy come up. And when it comes to her repeatedly talking about how her and Tommy's mental health have been so low throughout this whole time, and in particular how Tommy's, like, mental health is low because of her late partner being brought into all of this, I just have a few things that signifies to me. One, you can't, I already did say this a little bit, but let me just reiterate, you cannot possibly be the happiest you've ever been with a person before if you're constantly repeating over and over and over again how low your mental health has been as a result of being in this relationship. And I get that she's saying that they're only that low right now because of outside factors of the relationship, but regardless, all of this has led to, like, extremely low mental health for you. You are not the happiest you've ever been. That's hyperbole, and it's also your BPD masking, you know, the warning signs here. It's also really indicative that Tommy has not taken the time to mourn this situation. We know that Alexis has shared that Tommy threatened to unalive herself, and we know from Amberlynn's own mouth that, like, Tommy has really been struggling with this relationship and also thinking about her late partner and her late partner getting brought into it. Like, you can't tell me that this is a person who's really gone through the processes and stages of grief to properly mourn and heal the loss of somebody that was clearly important to her. And when you keep bringing up your BPD and you're talking about Tommy, you know, still feeling things about her late partner, what you're reiterating to me is that, like, you might be coming out of this, you might be on the other side of this right now, you might be feeling positively mental health wise right now, but it's clear that neither of you have done the work to prevent this from happening again in the future. Sure, your mental health is better now, but what happens the next time that you do have your BPD come up and you haven't taken the time to go to therapy and work on that? Sure, Tommy's getting to a place where she feels good about your relationship now, but what happens the next time that she starts mourning or grieving or feeling the loss of her late partner? And I think that's the crux of what people are trying to tell you. If you're going to blame, you know, this really bad week on your BPD and on Tommy, you know, not being over the death of her partner, then you need to do something about that before you really dive headfirst into this relationship. You're telling Alexis you want to get married to this person, but y'all both clearly are, like, troubled, and that's just based on your own words. It's just mostly based on things you've shared in this particular live stream. Like, all of these excuses, all of these things that you're saying to excuse the behaviors of Tommy that Alexis is concerned about, it sounds like they all very much could happen again. I will say on this call, Alexis references a specific comment multiple times that was particularly awful, and Amberlynn tries to switch the subject at different points and tries to like go away from it so that it's not talked about in the conversation. And based on the messages that Alexis sent to Jordy, I would imagine that the comment in particular that they're talking about is the one where Tommy talked about wanting to unalive herself. I will say that later on in the stream, after the call ends, Amberlynn does say that that comment in particular actually had nothing to do with her, and her BPD just made her think it was about her. And then she does later also say that the comment did in fact have to do with Tommy's late partner, which lines up with what Alexis was saying in the DMs to Jordy, which is why I'm inclined to believe that's what Alexis was talking about, unless Alexis comes out and adds further clarification later. Either way, I think that that comment is just so indicative of Tommy not being ready to be in a relationship with Amberlynn. I think Alexis is suggesting that Tommy was using that comment to, you know, mentally and emotionally manipulate Amberlynn. But even if that wasn't the motive behind it, it's just very clear that this is not a person who has fully gotten over the loss of their partner and is probably, honestly, truly not ready for another relationship. After that call, honestly, not really anything else interesting happens. if we're being, like, just fully transparent. She mostly just repeats a lot of things that she either already said in this stream about Alexis or that she said in other streams that she's done this weekend. So, you know, there's not really necessarily much more to cover from what happens after the phone call. I think after all is said and done, my thoughts on all of this is that I think there's some level of Alexis that really does care about Amberlynn and did, at least initially, you know, want to try to help Amberlynn, and she thought that maybe, you know, bringing attention to Tommy would help with that, considering that she already saw Tommy leave Amberlynn once because of the feeder allegations. So I think that in Alexis's mind, she was like, if I put out more information, Tommy's really going to get scared and just leave. Because I think Alexis realizes that there's no reasoning with Amberlynn about this. I will say her behavior since the live stream and reading all the TikToks and things like that seems a little attention seeking, and honestly also I think validates Amberlynn's concerns about being scared that Alexis might like try to expose her, because Alexis has just made a lot of comments in different places in her comment section of her TikToks where she's acting like she has all of this information that she could share. It feels like a veiled threat, and I honestly, from these girls, I'm just like, if you got something to say it. Just say it or shut up. I don't need to sit here and listen to you, you know, like try to intimidate Amberlynn. Like, it's clearly not going to work. She's not going to like break up with Tommy. She's not going to come back and be your friend. And that's unfortunate because it sounds like you have invested a lot of time into her. But these veiled threats of like, I have so much information I could leak about her are not going to scare Amberlynn. She's going to call your bluff until you actually do something about it, and then when you do leak stuff about it, her argument is going to be, you're such an awful friend, how dare you reveal all these things about me, you're terrible. So, I don't know, that's my thoughts. Like, some levels of Alexis, probably doing it for the right reasons, and also, I think at this point, she's living up to what I already thought about her prior to all of this happening, which is it's giving attention seeking a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit for me personally. That's just my take. Either way, it seems like maybe Amberlynn gave us a little bit of a break. So, I don't know. That's all I got. That's truly all I have to share. I can't think of anything else that I need to say on it. This is already, I've been filming for an hour and 15 minutes. I did like fuck up my words a lot, so I'm sure hopefully when I go back and edit out all my mistakes, this will be a lot shorter and hopefully not super long, but also y'all have stuck by me all weekend, this whole entire saga with the long videos. So I just want to say thanks so much. Thanks for being here. And also so many new subscribers, so welcome. Welcome to the party. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!